unprecedented in many ways.
So today is October 6, 2025. It's around 1 a.m. I was listening to the radio. I just went to shop the Target store 255 Granny Street. And I normally sit over here overnight. And I listened to WABC radio and a bunch of radio stations. I was listening to WABC radio. And a guy, Dominic Carter, was saying, I don't want you to get stabbed or be accused of shoplifting. So every time I go to that store, they always try to call the police on me. They're closed now, and I noticed that I get harassed. You know, anywhere I go, I log into Instagram. Because I'm a gay Nigerian, and sometimes I go on Instagram. They put guy nude pictures of men in on Instagram. You know, so I've been noticing anywhere I go, if I dare go on Instagram. I think I went to Instagram in that store, and they went crazy after that, calling police on me, chasing me away. And I normally sit here overnight. You know, go on Instagram or because I'm too tired to walk. Normally, I like to charge my phone while I go on Instagram, but sometimes I'm too tired to walk to the phone booth. So I don't know what this craze is. At some point, Instagram blocked me also. You know, and then this Dominic Carter said, I don't want you to get stabbed or be accused of shoplifting. So I believe there's some inheritance scammers that that believe they can kill me and inherit any assets I may have. I've been trying to sue U.S. immigration now for the past 25 years. I can't get a lawyer. It's all kinds of we immigrants, we can't get justice. Lawyers won't help us and stuff like that. Because when my mother brought me from Nigeria, I was a minor child, and she had a green card, and the U.S. immigration arrested me, said children are not welcome with their green card holders, that I didn't have status to come with my mother, and they arrested me. And even though I did have a visa, and they lied I didn't have a visa. So that case took like 8 years before I finally got my green card. So I was trying to sue the U.S. immigration, and also the police took my home on Staten Island, and wrongfully, me and my mother, they drove us out of our basement apartment. And Arizona was trying to help us because I couldn't get a lawyer either, and the police want to check Arizona dead. For the immigration case, to sue the immigration, I couldn't get a lawyer. So I believe some people think, my mother's daughters then killed my mother in 2015. Valley and Florida, free mental illness, and I killed her. My mother said they're part of it. Inheritance scam, gang operation that, said at least one of her daughters, Valley, was into drugs and was moving like a narcotic gang. So I believe there's some other criminals out there that believe, they can kill me also and make fake claims that I'm a straight person, and and claim adopted children, and we use women to inherit my estate, because I'm a gay Nigerian. I was born a male. I'm not a woman, so I don't have any child. I'm unmarried. So I believe this is the reason why they don't want me to have any evidence that I'm gay, because I really don't mix with the gay community in America. I'm a gay Nigerian, so they believe I could just die. They could just kill me without a trace, and then have people swoop in and claim they are my lover, women, and inherit all the money, because and because I really don't have close relationship with anyone. And they say a lot of gays suffer from being suffer all kinds of criminal extortion and things like that, especially the gay people that get older, and really they won't have their parents alive anymore. Both my mother and father has been killed. I don't have any child. I'm 44 years old. I've been reading about it, that a lot of, because I used to work as a home health aide, so I've been reading about it that a lot of older gays, by the time they get old in America, they don't have any family member left. They don't have any children. So either their home health aide may steal from them, or even kill them and inherit the property, or criminals may kill them and hurt the property. Even though I'm a young person, but I believe as a Nigerian, I'm powerless. So I believe that there's a gang out there. They're working with some of the workers in the store, and they believe they can just kill me, have me shot by bullets or whatever. And once I die, they can just have a woman or another woman go to the court, that they don't want to inherit my estate, that I was their lover, I was a straight person, and they said for foreigners, it's very easy to rob a foreigner like that. And maybe pay my mother's daughters off to keep quiet, and they all shared the money. So I don't know why this radio station is getting involved, but I've been under FBI surveillance. So I was in immigration prison. They said the FBI, they work for criminals also to steal money from people. So if you're under FBI surveillance, you got to be careful. Some of the FBI agents are criminals, and they will link up with other criminals to get you robbed, killed. There's even this lady. She said our father used to work for FBI and her mother used to work for like FBI. Her name is Mindy. I don't really remember what she said exactly about the job title of her father and mother, but she went to prison for narcotics, and she said even the FBI lied about her, even though she admitted she was guilty of crime, but said they exaggerated certain things. So, and I've been hearing a lot of bad things about the FBI. Even this Trump was saying the FBI, Comey, was lying about him. Whether that is true or not, I don't know. Because this Trump already has a dirty image. But I heard about most people who say the FBI can frame you up and stuff. So I think as a Nigerian, this is why even Instagram blocked me, so they don't want me to, because I'm not really close to the gay community here, because my interaction in the past with the gay community here is it's a community that has been battered, so people don't really treat each other good. There's a lot of self-serving and arrogance, and it's just I wouldn't say much arrogance, but people learn to survive just all the toxicity, because they used to lynch gays in America and everywhere else in the world. So the gay community is very toxic, and it can also be very xenophobic. I interacted with a lot of gay immigrants, and there's always this talk about feeling marginalized and not being accepted. As a gay immigrant, the gays in America don't really accept the gay immigrants. There's a lot of discrimination also. As a matter of fact, I used to go online, and some people say, some of the black Americans say no Jamaicans, no Africans should bother. It's not even funny. They would say no Jamaicans or no Africans should hit up their profile. They only want their fellow black Americans. So things like that. So I'm marginalized. I don't mean to laugh, but so my mother's dead, my father's dead, my mother was killed by daughters. So I believe the criminal gangs in America that believe they can just kill me and have a woman inherit my property, and the police are also helping this criminal gang. I use the women's bathroom, and the police will chase me over for the women's bathroom. So so I believe some of the law enforcement here don't want me to be successful, would rather have me killed. They would rather prefer an American person robs me. This inheritance scam is very popular in New York. So anytime I go to the store here, Target store, 255 Greenwich Street, they're always playing Anki Panky. I've been noticing since this Eric became mayor, sometimes I could be in the bathroom because I have diarrhea, and the fire alarm will go off. Burn, 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 and they'll bring the fire alarm. So I'll be asking the store workers, what is going on? I say, oh, don't worry, it's just a fire drill. I'm like, how come you're doing a fire drill while I'm using the bathroom? I normally go there close to their closing time. They close at 11, so I'm always there like 10 p.m. I'm like, it's a fire drill, and you call the fire service. How are you doing just a drill and bringing the fire service? What is this? You're using me for training. So I believe they're just trying to set me up, because I've also been threatened by other people that you're going to get set up in the bathroom, whether in the train station or in the store, and they're going to lie that you're doing drugs, and the police will come and kill you. And then some woman will move to inherit your estate. and claimed he was straight and had adopted our children or whatever. So I'm not straight. I'm not into women, and I don't have any guys either that I'm into. I've been celibate for many years. There's so much arrogance in the gay community here. A lot of people say they don't want Africans or Jamaicans. I'm just, that's kind of, So I'm happy being by myself. It doesn't mean I'm crazy. It doesn't mean I'm depressed. And they say this Eric Adams said they should be locking up homeless in the psych ward. So I believe that some Americans that are trying to get me killed are moving for the money. So they say a lot of black Americans don't like Africans, say we sold them into slavery. I'm a gay Nigerian, so I believe they want to kill me in America and inherit whatever potential lawsuit money. And then also they can claim, and I believe that's why they're trying to frame me up as crazy, as a drug user or whatever. But they say that no, if you can claim someone has a mental problem, and they die, then you can file lawsuit late, claim they couldn't file a lawsuit because they were mentally disturbed. So this was going on. This is human trafficking, international human trafficking. America's not turned to a strange place. Even though I heard it's always been like this, they're deporting Nigerians to other countries. There's some Nigerians, they say they deport them to Ghana, and they're stranded right now in Ghana. Some of them are afraid to go to Nigeria because of the political problems. you know, you know, and and they're just coming after us Nigerians since I've wanted to sue the NYPD, and the FBI had me on surveillance since my mother brought me in 2000, and I believe they may have told the NYPD to go and kill every Ghana that was going to help me with my lawsuit against U.S. immigration against the NYPD. I know law in America would help me. They said even black Americans couldn't get reparation for slavery. So I, as a Nigerian, it's like most of the people here don't want me to get nothing either. So they rather have me killed. So that's a plot that the media, I believe the media here is aware also, and they just don't want to help me expose it because they don't want to go against the FBI. So I believe that most of the violence I'm experiencing is to kill me and perform inheritance scam, and they know I really don't have anybody that will stand up for me, and they believe my mother's daughters can be bribed. So in case I'm killed, no, I'm not married, I'm not interested in women, I'm a gay Nigerian, I was born a man, I'm not a woman. And I put an umbrella on. I'm not crazy, but I always have an umbrella because I'm always on my phone, and I use the umbrella to hide my phone. I'll just sit down on a chair, I'll sit on a chair like this, and I'll be using the umbrella to shield my phone so people walking by wouldn't punch me and steal my phone. And people always, and they always send people to punch me and run away also. It's just to protect my face, So this is why sometimes they set me on fire, So and the American government wouldn't help me as I'm homeless. The NYPD took my home 15 years ago. Only every Ghanaian black American said was going to help me come to court with me. He said it doesn't mind paying for a lawyer for me, but he said I don't really need. He told me he will be able to help me speak in court. I don't even need a lawyer. And they went and choked him dead. So the American government is protecting these police officers that took my home, rendered my mother vulnerable. She went to live with her daughters, and one of them was poisoning her with car antifreeze fluid. My mother was telling me all this. My mother went to Pennsylvania after the police took out me and my mother's home on Staten Island in 2010. I said the daughter Bolali was poisoning her food with counterfeit poison around 2015, and that's when my mother fled back to New York and came to the hospital. And that's the daughter and her sister Flora came to New York days later. Even though my mother was hiding in the hospital, they were able to look at my mother, in violation of HIPAA law, which is nobody's supposed to be able to force their way to find you in a hospital if you didn't give them the address. And they told the hospital to lock my mother up in the psych ward. And my mother was so angry that they were locking her up in the psych ward. Even though my mother wasn't crazy, she was expressing symptoms of a heart attack. And the daughters framed her up as crazy and got the hospital to lock her up. So I said my mother died during the forceful hospitalization, transfer to the psych ward. So this is what is going on. And also there's a park, Washington Market Park. I normally go to use the bathroom there. The black American worker there on Sunday, was so rude to me. As soon as I was trying to get to the bathroom, he quickly went and blocked the way. And he said, "Are you recording me?" And I was recording what he was doing. And they always hire black Americans to harass me in that park. They even lock up that park for 4 months. So what they do is to incite violence against me when I'm trying to use the bathroom. I have diarrhea. Same time I'm trying to use the bathroom, they put the black American workers put block the door to try to get me violent. So I could, either get me violent or to incite, so they can beat me up and kill me. They said some black Americans now are choking white people. I watch it on Instagram. A black American security guard was choking a white guy. And they said, and I've been trained by a black American gang that they're going to start killing Africans and doing everything the white people did to black Americans after slavery and during slavery. They don't want us Africans to also enjoy benefits for Africans selling their ancestors. I've been under FBI surveillance and never arrested these black Americans. The guy that was threatening me like that, I recorded him thereafter, and he threatened me that it's going to that I was going to get harmed. And soon after that, the police came and choked me and stole my green card and stuff. And the FBI, so I know I have access to all my recordings. I've been under FBI surveillance. So the American government is aiding and abetting, the domestic terrorists, which comprises of some of the police and gangs and FBI agents that would abuse foreigners like me. And and the international community, International Criminal Court needs to take this up, and FIFA also needs to investigate this, because it's not safe. Another homeless for African like me is from Senegal. As soon as I started talking with them, he doesn't speak a lot of English, but as soon as I started speaking with them, he told me he's homeless also. He's from Senegal. And soon he told me somebody came and robbed him while he was sleeping and stole his green card. I said he's been homeless for many years and nobody has ever robbed him until he started talking to me. So I believe the FBI surveillance they put on me, those FBI agents are using it to target people that are close to me, like Eric Garner or that African. And so many incidents. They said thunder doesn't strike twice. How could Eric Garner try to help me and he got killed and his family? They don't even care about me. I'm sure they're aware about me, but they got $5 million from the city of New York, and and they're from New York here. I'm sure they're aware about me. I post online the same message about their son, that I knew their son, and nobody gets in touch with me. Even the Al Sharpton, he always talks about me, but in general terms on his show. So it's like none of them wants me to get justice, because this is some black Americans don't want Africans to get justice or to make more money than them. So there's a lot of competition, because I'm trying to sue the U.S. immigration and I'm trying to sue NYPD. So I guess some people just don't want me to get justice and make more money than them or whatever. Because they only got $5 million for the death of Eric Garner. And this their family friend of Eric Garner's family friend is Eric Adams. Since he became mayor, I've been sending him videos every day. I'm going to send him this video that I know Eric Garner, and he needs to stop blocking justice for Eric Garner, and he's the head of the police and also the mayor. So I need to be put in a crime witness shelter and to get these people arrested that killed Eric Garner and these gangs. But this Eric Adams is busy covering up. I even saw him around this neighborhood, and I approached him. I said, "Sir, can you please help me?" And he walked away from me. So he's been taunting me, and covering up of a murder is a crime, and since this also involves me and a foreigner, this is international terrorism and human trafficking, because my life is not safe. If they're going to be covering up for killers, and there's all kinds of gangs attacking me, this store, Target store here, is being used for terrorism. Some of their workers, are setting me up with the police. Anytime I go there, they'll call the police or start playing with the fire alarm, and anywhere else I go, they say they're going to frame me up as using drugs in the bathroom and get the police to kill me, So this is what is going on. And I was listening to the ABC radio. Today's October 6, 2025, around 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. And the host, Dominic Carter, he was closing, and he was saying that don't get stabbed and don't get framed and don't get falsely accused of robbing a store. Yeah, and that Dominic Carter, I've been reporting, posting videos online that he talks a lot about me on his show, but he uses ridicule, as it's a black American radio host working for WABC, and I'm an immigrant that's vulnerable. I don't need the media to use me for sensational journalism under the local laws and international laws. If somebody's life is in danger, you don't use them to try to, entertain your audience and hoping that something bad happens to the person, and then you can then report it or whatever. So this is very evil, because I'm gonna send this video to the WABC radio also. I'm not looking for marriage with anyone. I'm not looking to adopt a child with anyone. I'm not looking for anybody to inherit my estate if I'm killed. I'm just looking for justice, And so this is the store where they normally buy me, Target store, 255 Greenwich Street, And I can't help it because they have a pharmacy, CVS pharmacy in there. But I go there to buy drugs for my diarrhea downstairs. In the basement they have it. That's the basement where they keep the drugs. So I go there often to buy diarrhea drugs, because I don't want to be defecated on myself. And they have some black Americans. As soon as I'm trying to use the bathroom, they quickly run and block the door to try to get me to defecate on myself. The park workers, they park here, watch them at their park. They've hired a new black American guy, and he has also started doing that. So they use that kind of provocation. I see some black Americans now are choking whites dead. Are choking whites also to retaliate for, I guess, some form of reprisal. Or at least I've been getting threatened that they're going to be attacking Africans. There's a black American gang threatening me. They're going to be attacking Africans and killing Africans as retribution for Africans selling our black Americans during the slave trade. I've contacted the Nigerian embassy and they're not helping me. A lot of African government are accepting immigrants from the wrong countries into their country, like the Ghanaian government accepting Nigerians, this is abuse, and this is encouraging all this police in America to abuse people like me, thinking either I get shipped off to the wrong country, and they wouldn't have to bother with me testifying in court against them. And even encouraging gangs in America, like black Americans, to attack me as a Nigerian, thinking they can just stab me like that. Dominic Carter, he was saying, and maybe I'll get deported after that. So I go to buy this anti-diarrhea drug because a lot of the black Americans don't let me use the bathroom. Go and quickly block the door. The park workers, when I'm headed to the bathroom, so I always try to have these pills in hand to help me hold my bowel movement in longer, which is like rape, because nobody should be forcing you. Nobody should be playing with your anus without your permission, because when they're forcefully blocking the door so I can't use the bathroom, they're playing with your anus without your permission, using force. It's just like telling somebody to take off their clothes at gunpoint and you molest the person sexually. That's still rape, even though the person took off their clothes. But if you're controlling someone's action with force or their anal muscles, so that black American guy needs to be arrested for rape. He was working on Sunday. Today is it was working on Saturday rather. Today is October 6th, Monday, 2025. October 5 is Sunday, 2025, and October 4th, 2025, around 8 a.m. Washington Market Park. It went and blocked the door as I was about to go to the bathroom. He told me to wait, and it was just menacing me. He didn't really do nothing about it, and it came out. I almost defecated on myself. And playing with somebody's anus without their permission is rape. So there's some black Americans that block them from using the bathroom. They need to arrest them for rape, and the black American prosecutor is the prosecutor for Manhattan. and they say it's been very lenient to his fellow black Americans, and it can be an accessory to rape of foreigners. That's a war crime, so International Criminal Court needs to look at this. Nobody needs to be playing with somebody's anus, without permission. I'm an adult. I don't know any of these people. I'm not into any sex cults, and I also buy soap from the store, and so they always anytime they see that I try anywhere they see I'm engaged in activities that helps me survive, helps me with my hygiene. They would terrorize me, try to stop me from shopping. It's a very nice smelling soap, and some of them don't like. They want Africans to smell bad. They don't let me take a shower anyway, but I always use the soap. You know, I always, in privacy, clean myself up, and it's a very nice smelling soap, and they terrorize me anywhere I buy soap and stuff. I don't expose myself in the nude, but I love the bathrooms don't even have soap, so I always buy soap to wash my hands with, most importantly. And it's a very nice smelling soap. Anybody can. I don't recommend it, but and they're one of the few people that have it. I don't see it anywhere else, so that's why I like shopping here. It's a nice smelling soap. I think it says it, Paradise Breeze Set. I don't wish to die. I just like the smell, so I don't want anybody to kill me and claim I was hoping to be killed. They say people can kill you and make up lies, and they said some of the jury can be very xenophobic, and the courts would just dismiss the charges against them. It's a very nice smelling soap. I always like, so I'm not depressed. I'm just being abused excessively, and there's a court order since the 1990s that if the police takes your home or Staten Island, if your police kicks you out of a basement apartment through a vacate order, they're supposed to put you in Oterum, the city, provide you with housing, and they've been blocking me and my mother until my mother got killed in 2015. And there's a black American, she's the Lolita James. She was a public advocate. I went to her office at City Hall, a few blocks from here, and she wouldn't help me. She was only helping many black Americans like her, and even the court was scolding her that she was supposed to be helping people that are victims of police brutality, but the black Americans she was helping, they were people that were just victims of civilian landlords that were evicting these people wrongfully. And the court scolded her that she should only be taking cases involving police misconduct, not just black Americans that were being abused by their landlords that has no police involvement. And she was the public advocate, Lolita James, then around that time when the police took my home. And so I went to Arizona. Arizona said it was going to help me, and the police went and killed Arizona. Now Lolita James is the governor. She's the Attorney General of the state of New York, and I send these videos to her also, and she doesn't help me. She's a black American. And Eric Adams also, I send videos to him on Instagram to everybody, and they're not helping me. And I believe they must believe, as an African, they must believe I'm inferior to them, and nothing's going to happen if I'm killed. So the International Criminal Court needs to look into this, whereby some black Americans will block Africans from getting justice in America because they believe these Africans are worthless, or Africans as a whole are worthless, and nobody would march for them. And there's Africans being deported, Nigerians being deported to Ghana, from America, even though they're not Ghanaian citizens, and they said they're experiencing so much misery, so we Nigerians are being targeted in America, with all kinds of forceful deportation. I have a green card, but the police arrested me in 2019 and stole that green card, so I can't even prove my status right now. So, and I'm getting abused. So please donate money to my Cash App, anyone that's watching. I'm looking for non-conditional humanitarian assistance. They don't let me sleep at night. They keep me awake all night long, threatening me that I'm going to be stabbed, shot dead. Even there was a time I was sitting here and they started spraying mosquito spray. This Eric Adam, they brought the police car and I felt so sick after inhaling that mosquito spray. They said they were spraying for West Nile virus, and they never put any notice. But they spotted me in this area, and I was so sick for many, many days. And so the black Americans terrorizing me with their power, and they need to arrest this Eric Adams, and it also instructed his police to be arresting homeless on the train station, so I hide out here in the dark. Because if anytime I'm on the train, the police are surrounding me, so they should be locking homeless in the psych ward. I said a lot of time when the police arrest people, or when they're putting people in the psych ward, they can beat you to death, like my mother, or inject you with a drug called ketamine, overdose you. There was a black American they were trying to put in the psych ward in 2019 after they did it to me also, put me in the psych ward wrongfully. But this was in New York City. They put me in the psych ward wrongfully in 2019, and that's in 2019 they put another black person in the psych ward wrongfully, or at least they were attempting to, and they killed him in the process. His name was I can't remember his name. It was in Denver, Colorado. You know, I think his name was Elijah McClain. You know, it was just coming home from work, and the police surrounded him and framed him up as crazy and locked him in the psych. Was a black American. So since I told that story, and you know, this Eric Adams said he wants the police to be doing that to Africans like me. So the police officer surrounding me, trying to kill me the way Elijah McClain was killed. You know, and even the mayor of Denver, Colorado, it was a white guy, Michael Johnston. He didn't want the criminal charges to be filed against the police. He said it was an accidental killing. I had to tell people in New York to call him. So, and by last year, he agreed to allow criminal charges to be filed, and they convicted those police. The court and the jury found them guilty. You know, so I don't know why this Ricardo is using the same method he uses to kill his fellow black American. He's using it on Africans like me. So they always surround me with the police, and they always try to render me unsanitary places where I buy soap, tissue, like Dwayne Reed also. They'll call the police on me. So they want me to appear unsanitary. You know, they want me to appear crazy so they can just use the police to kill me. And I believe that the greater goal is to have the police kill me, you know, or somebody to kill me, and then they can have, you know, black Americans and other women here go lie in court, say, you know, and lie that I'm a straight person, and I had a relationship with them, and they want to inherit my estate. So this is why, you know, anywhere I go, I always log into Instagram. So at least, because I do, you know, at least for my own safety. So in case I'm killed, people would know I'm not a straight person, I'm a gay person. And I always make sure I look at pictures of men. They have a lot of nude men on Instagram. You know, I don't have to be in a gay relationship to prove my gayness. You know, so that's one of the signs I try to send anywhere I go. I always log into Instagram. And for a long time, they wouldn't let me have a phone. Anytime I buy a phone, they wouldn't activate it for me, singular wireless. They'll play a game and say my phone, they can't activate it for me, even AT&T. So there's all kinds of organizations, companies that has been trying to, you know, excommunicate me. So for a long time, anytime I buy a phone and I try to activate it, they wouldn't help me activate it. You know, the phone company would deny me activation of my phone. So I guess just to keep me away, just to erase any proof that I'm gay, you know, so that they want me to disappear without a trace of my gayness or whatever, be killed, you know, and then the black American woman or whoever they hire would, in case I'm killed by the police or somebody else, would then go and file a lawsuit and even claim I adopted such a person's children. Even some days ago, I went to Stand Up Ferry, and this black American male and a woman surrounded me. Say, I remember you. You're the one the police just arrested on Staten Island. I said, no. And she followed me to the bathroom. Say, I remember you. You're the one the police just arrested. I said, please, don't wish me bad luck. It's been a long time since I've been on Staten Island, so I'm not the one the police just arrested on Staten Island. You know, and they were so rude to me. They were following me around on Staten Island Ferry. You know, I guess they were just trying to get me angry, so that, you know, then the police can arrest me for fighting. And this Ricardo said, anytime the police sees a homeless person, they should arrest them, especially if they believe that person is crazy. And a lot of time when they're arresting you, they can choke you dead. Like when they arrested me, after somebody was annoying me, pulling my hair, you know, in 2019, I told the person to stop it. July 20th, 2019, at Bay Ridge and 4th Avenue, after a black American guy told me, we're going to get you Africans like you harm soon. And soon after that, the police came and arrested me, choked me after somebody came to provoke me. So I believe some of these black Americans may have been recruited by Me Too, because I've been trying to get the Me Too lawyer, Gloria, already arrested. Because when the police kicked me and my mother out of our home on Staten Island wrongfully, they looked at me naked. So I sued the police for sexual harassment and I called Gloria Allred to help me take over the case. I told her the police came and kicked me and my mother out of our home on Staten Island naked, and they watched me naked. And then Eric Garner was trying to help me with that lawsuit papers, and they went and killed Eric Garner. So I spoke with Gloria Allred, and she told me she can't take the case because she needs the police and FBI to help her arrest R. Kelly and Weinstein. And she said if she's helping me go against the police, they'll drop the Weinstein and R. Kelly case. And she said she needs to bribe them by not taking up my case, because if she's able to get a criminal conviction, that our clients can make more money in civil court. So after Gloria already told me that she's the lawyer for me too, I started telling everybody in the train station what she told me, and I told them I needed her arrested, that she's bribing the police to arrest R. Kelly and Weinstein. And soon after that, this black American gang were being recruited to harass me, and this means I believe they work with gang members. Soon after that, I was at the train station near Chambers down the street, and some like Arab or Spanish guys came into the women's bathroom and said, "You're not a real woman. We don't want you in the bathroom." And they took my bags from the bathroom and went and threw it in the train track. And trains was running over my stuff. So I called 911. It was close to 2019. Trump was president then. I called 911. The police came and was thanking these people. She said, thank you, I appreciate it. I said, excuse me, these people were terrorizing me. I called you to arrest them, not thank them. And the police told me, no, we're not going to arrest them. And they were all laughing. So this Me Too has been recruited. So I believe that the ones, my mother was saying our daughter was moving with a gang also, because, and she didn't know what kind of gang they were. But Me Too wasn't formed in 2015. So I believe whatever gang my mother's daughter was moving with is not be working with Me Too, because I see my mother's daughter around this area also. She lives in Pennsylvania, and I don't know who's giving her my location. She comes here also, and and she comes to Staten Island Ferry, and anywhere she goes, they'll try to kill me. So I believe the Me Too may have hired her and a gang. She must. So my mother was saying her daughter was doing drugs at Balali and was moving with a gang of drug users in Pennsylvania, but I've never. And I didn't, because that daughter was always violent, so I always avoided her. I always stay in New York with my mother, so I don't know the exact gang she's part of. I try not to care about her life because she's a very violent person. But since she killed my mother, and these are the last words my mother left me with, and I see her all the time, this Volante, I see her all the time. And I saw her, she came here also, she was pushing a stroller, and she was wearing all blue. The police here wears blue. I think she's signaling to them that they can come and kill me, and she will defend them. I believe, because they say criminals always talk in codes with each other, And as soon as Ghana was trying to help me, the police, when I choked him dead, close to my birthday, July 17th, 2014. So this is what is going on. So the Me Too is recruiting black Americans to kill me because I've been snitching on this Gloria Allred, that she's bribing the police to arrest R. Kelly and Weinstein, and this bitch recruited a whole lot of different gangs. So the Spanish, because when I was using the bathroom at Chambers Street a couple of years ago, close to 2019, before the police arrested me, these Arabs looking and Spanish male came into the bathroom and carried my bags and threw it in the train track. And the train ran over, and I called 911 crying, terrorized. And the police came and was hugging and shaking the people. Those gang members said, thank you. And since then, I've been getting attacked by black American. So I believe that this Me Too is on an all-out assault on me, hiring all the ethnic gangs against me as an African. And the U.S. government's not helping. And this I regard, I'm also a black American mayor. I think, is acceding to their request, because him as a black American may not want me alive. because it may be jealous that if I survive, the American government and the New York City may have to pay me a lot of money, and they would rather have me die and have the money stolen by Black American gangsters, and to benefit their own people. They say if you're killed, anybody can just go to court and lie that you're married, you are in a relationship with them, you adopted their children, and inherit all your money. And I come from a broken home. My father is now dead. My mother's dead also. So I don't really have, anybody that will stand up for me, And my mother's daughters are especially that balance into drugs, so they can easily bribe any family member to keep quiet. So in case I'm killed, only civil right activists like me should administer my estate. No family member or friend should administer my estate, and they should and only civil rights activists like me, provided they haven't denied me up in the past, such activists should administer my estate and get justice for me and my late mother, and donate the rest of my assets to charity for those suffering xenophobia like me and my late mother. And people being deported by Trump should prioritize for charity. And in case I'm shot with a bullet, like I've been getting threatened or stabbed, and I'm in coma, I don't want to be removed to another country. I'd rather stay in America, because America is the crime scene where things bad have been happening, and it's always better for crime investigation and for justice to keep evidence and witnesses intact, and I'd still like to get justice no matter what happens to me. I'm not married to anyone. I'm not looking for any surrogate. I'm not looking to have a child with anybody. So please, if you're going to donate money to me, please, it has to be based on non-conditional humanitarian assistance. Whether you donate money to my Cash App, which is the $ NYC Homeless, or you donate money to me in person, I prefer you donate in Cash App. But I beg for money on the streets, so sometimes people give me money. So I just to let you know, whether you're donating money to me in person or my Cash App, I'm accepting all these donations as non-conditional humanitarian assistance only. I'm not looking to be anybody's surrogate. I'm not looking to marry anybody. I'm not looking for any friend either. I've been through so much. I don't have time for any friendship right now. I just want to, be able to focus on getting justice for me and my late mother, and focus on my life, So I'm not standoffish. I just don't have time for friendship or anything. But I'm a nice person. I'm very cordial with people. But if people insult me, I also respond back. I stand up for my right, but I'm not violent. I'm not looking for a fight with anybody. What I mean, I respond back is, I try to record it. Sometimes I try to slap the phone out of my hand and post it online. That's about much I do. I'm not a violent person. I'm an immigrant. I don't want to be deported for fighting. So I'm not a violent person. What I mean, I try to respond back is, either I can record the incident when some people are trying to get violent with me, or after they leave, I would make a video record of the incident. Like now, I'm making a video record of the incident, of what I've been experiencing in Target store, all over different branches of Target store, So I believe the Me Too gang is recruiting Black Americans and other people to kill me on behalf of Gloria Oren and the corrupt police to cover up, So I believe some of these unscrupulous individuals believe it's a win-win for all of them if someone like me is killed, so I wouldn't be able to snitch on the corrupt police killing a Garner while he was trying to help me. And this girl already saying she can't take my case either, because if she goes after the NYPD for sexually harassing me or for any purpose, they will drop the RK and wants the case. So that girl already is an accessory to the cover-up of Eric Garner's murder and the sexual harassment. And they're afraid of her going to jail, because so this is why the police are aggressive. And this Eric Adams is also helping the police to try to kill me by saying he wants the police to be arresting homeless people and framing us up as crazy. They say even when one of the police officers was killed, I think early this year or last year, He was from Long Island, and they said the Spanish guy shoot him dead. And they said the governor went to the funeral, and the police, turned their back at her, and it was told her to leave because they told her they want power, they want power. And I think now, through Eric Adams, the governor has given them power to be arresting and killing people like me. So that they don't have to go to jail, for things I'm witness to against this police officer. So that Governor Oko and this Eric Adams, in case anything happens to me, they need to be held accountable. Also, I send videos to her, So these are the evidences that should be used in court to nail these people, Governor Oko and Eric Adams. So I'm being turned out as an African, So this is what's going on. So I do have an umbrella on top of my head. Like I said earlier, I'm not crazy. I just use the umbrella because when I sit down, I'm always online, either on Instagram. So I use the umbrella to cover the phone. So opportunists, criminals. This is I love criminals and opportunists. Sometimes I fall asleep and the phone may drop on the floor or on my lap so that the thief wouldn't see the phone and take it. So I use the umbrella as a protection. So in case they kill me and say that I was walking around with an umbrella and it wasn't raining, I'm not crazy. I know it's not raining. I just use the umbrella while I'm sleeping to cover myself because people sometimes try to punch me. I've been set on fire also. So I use it to protect my face when I'm sleeping. So this is the human rights abuse going on. For 500 years, Africans have been enslaved in America and no justice for them either and all kinds of abuses.